Hello friends, this is Dr. Sangeeta and welcome back to another lecture of Dental Pathshala where we help you understand and learn dentistry better and easy way. And today's topic we are going to talk about a fluid filled sac, which is the cyst. So without further ado, let's get started. And welcome back to our 10 in 10 series where we cover each topic under 10 headings in 10 minutes. And today's video we are going to talk about the aneurysm, bone cyst and the SBC, traumatic bone cyst. Most of the students find it actually difficult to understand because there are so many similarities present in between, but we need to understand the differences. So once you know that this is ABC, once you understand the features, clinical features, radiographic features, and the main motto is you to differentiate between both of these because actually the features are really different, even though the pathogenesis is same, but the features are whole round different thing. So talking about the aneurysm bone cyst. Aneurysm bone cyst is uncommon cystic lesion, or while on the other hand SBC, solitary bone cyst, traumatic bone cyst, hemorrhagic bone cyst is actually a pseudocyst. It is not even a cyst. I will tell you when we are talking about why I am telling that it is a pseudocyst. So talking about aneurysm bone cyst. It is uncommon cyst which involves the bone anywhere, including the jaws. Especially it is usually seen in the mandibular ramus area. Most frequently, but also it is seen in the maxillary posterior region. But if we see that the mandibular molar ramal area is the most common. Females are more affected. Second decade of life is more affected. Then these all are the secondary things. Coming to the primary thing, what is aneurysm bone cyst? Now, how do we see that this is an aneurysm bone cyst? Once we see it clinically, there will be a rapid enlarging swelling. Now the patient will complain, patient will tell us in the history that the swelling has been enlarging rapidly. It is diffuse. The swelling causes facial asymmetry which we can make out. And the most important thing is that swelling is going to be painful swelling. So the patient will come to you, complain you about the pain, the affected area of the jaw will be pulsatile. So you will feel that pulsations. There is going to be, because of the rapid enlarging swelling, there is going to be rapid expansion, severe expansion of the bone. So the severe expansion and the thinning of the bone will usually result in the eggshell crickling sound. So you can hear this, the eggshell crackling. And also sometimes it will perforate even the cortical plates. So because this is so enlarging that there may be pathological fracture can happen. So what happens when you accidentally traumatize this ABC? If you accidentally injure this ABC, what happens? There is going to be profuse bleeding. So much of blood. So uncontrolled bleeding will be there. So much of blood everywhere once you accidentally injure it. Okay, so this is the actually main difference. Or sometimes patient may even feel difficulty in even opening the mouth and all. So all these things, and if maxillary is involved, sometimes it can invade into the antrum, into the maxillary sinus. So once you see it radiographically, clinically, two things. One is the rapid enlarged swelling, painful, which is right, and the bleeding will be there. And if we see radiographically, these are multilocular, radiolucent area. So if we see this multilocular radiolucent area, this is like a honeycomb pattern, right? So typical honeycomb appearance will be there. Now one more thing I want to tell you that this characteristic feature of ABC, this lesion are actually very similar to the central giant cell granuloma. So all of the histological features will be similar to the central giant cell granuloma. So basically if you see the histographically, histologically, the multiple multinucleated giant cell will be seen. So microscopically you will see the multi-nucleated, multiple giant cell, scattered osteoids. Then you will also find the area of hemorrhage, area of hemosiderin and all. Right. Now what happens coming to radiographically, now you will see the honeycomb appearance. Sometimes because of the expansion of the cortical plate, there may be ballooning. Also because of this expansion, it can displace the other teeth. And sometimes you can also see the resorption of the root, right? Most of the times actually. So what happens? The characteristic feature of this cyst is that, because it is a characteristic feature is the blowout bulging of the lower border of the mandible. So you will see that there is a ballooning. Because of this ballooning, so you will see that blowout at the lower border of the mandible especially. So how did this develop? How this cyst happen? So because of the trauma which happened in the jaw, and because of this venous occlusion which is trapped inside the bone. So because of that, there is a development of the cyst, aneurysmal bone cyst. So basically these are multiple blood filled spaces. And what happen if you accidentally puncture it? There will be a lot of blood, because this is a blood filled spaces. So this is the reason, if you see this microscopically, what happens? No, there is no epithelial lining at all. In both of the ABC, SBC, there is no epithelial lining. You won't find any epithelial lining. So instead of that, what is there in the cystic space? So all these cystic space are differentiated from each other, separated from each other with the connective tissue walls. So there is loose connective tissue wall. There is no epithelial lining in the cyst. Can you understand? See, this is a cyst, right? So cyst always has a lining. So this cystic lining is actually absent. Epithelial lining is absent. So there is only loose connective tissue walls which are present. And the multinucleated multiple giant cell you will see. So this is about the aneurysm bone cyst. Surgically, we do the surgical curettage for the treatment of the ABC. So the ABC is uncommon. It can occur anywhere in the jaw, but the most common site is the mandibular ramal area. Then this swelling is painful, rapidly growing. Painful swelling you will see, and if you accidentally puncture it, there will be a lot of bleeding. Because what? Because aneurysm bone cyst is basically blood filled, right? Blood filled spaces. It is not actually lined by the epithelial lining, but there may be some epithelial cells or spindle shape or flat cells can be present, right? But basically it is separated from one another with the loose connective tissue walls. Honeycomb appearance is seen in the radiograph. That's it about the aneurysm bone cyst. Now coming to the SBC, the solitary bone cyst, or we can say the traumatic bone cyst or the hemorrhagic bone cyst. Now coming to this, see, this is a pseudocyst. Again, there is no epithelial lining in this SBC or traumatic bone cyst or hemorrhagic bone cyst. Now you will be like, because the name is hemorrhagic bone cyst, that doesn't mean that if we puncture it, there will be a lot of blood. In fact, this is opposite. If we puncture it, see what happens sometimes when we see this cyst is there. Okay, when you open up this cyst, you will just find the empty space, nothing else within. So you don't see anything in the cyst. So there is nothing, no discharge from the cyst. Basically what happens, just little bit of serosanguinous fluid. So basically little bit of necrotic blood clots, nothing else. So once you see this cyst, once you go inside, you will see nothing. And this is the reason that sometimes the radiographic size appears bigger than the clinical size, the actual size of the swelling. So this is a SBC, the solitary bone cyst, traumatic bone cyst, hemorrhagic bone cyst. As the name suggests, solitary. That means it is going to be unilocular swelling. So radiographically, once you see, radiographically you find the unilocular swelling. Well demarcated margin. Asymptomatic. See, the aneurysm bone cyst patient feels a lot of pain, right? But SBC is atraumatic and it is usually detected accidentally in the radiograph. There is expansion of the cortical plate, paresthesia of the lip. So all these things will be seen. Also, the cyst is seen in the young people, but it is rarely seen after 25 or 30 years of age. Female are again more affected with this cyst. Mandible is more affected. So this cyst is mostly asymptomatic. Once you see in the radiograph, you will find a unilocular, solitary bone cyst. It is going to be a cyst present in the bone, single. Solitary means single, alone, right? So solitary bone cyst. Unilocular swelling, radiolucent area in the bone, with a well-defined, well-demarcated margin. It can be ill-defined also sometimes, however, but usually it is unilocular swelling. Right, and radiograph size is actually bigger than the clinical size of the cyst. And if you see from the occlusion, the radiolucency will actually extend along the cancellous bone of the jaw. And a prominent feature of this cyst is that it has got a tendency for the scalloping in between the root of the teeth. So root resorption, which is commonly seen in the aneurysm bone cyst, is rarely seen in the SBC, solitary bone cyst. Root resorption of the affected teeth or at the adjacent teeth. Now, how does it develop? The pathogenesis is the trauma hemorrhage theory. What does this say? It says that if any trauma happens, okay, there is going to be intrabony hemorrhage. So, when the intrabony hemorrhage occurs, usually for repair, there should be organization. The clot formation, after the hemorrhage, there is a clot formation. But clot formation usually be in organized or properly manner, right? But what happens in case of SBC? Now, this clot doesn't organize properly. And there is a liquefaction of the clot takes place. Right? Now, the healing of the wound is not taking place. So, what happens? There is an intrabony cavity which persists in the bone. And later on, it is called as the solitary bone cyst. So this solitary bone cyst is actually just the empty space in the bone. So if you see this, once you open the cyst cavity, you will just find empty space, nothing else. So remember, solitary, nothing. No communication, no social gathering, nothing, just solitary. Remember, always remember this is the main difference between the aneurysm bone cyst and the solitary bone cyst. Actually, see, remember this, that this is hemorrhagic bone cyst, but there is no profuse bleeding on trauma. Profuse bleeding on trauma is seen in the aneurysm bone cyst, not in the solitary bone cyst, not in the hemorrhagic bone cyst, not in the traumatic bone cyst. So histologically, if you see, there is no epithelial lining and it is just surrounded by vascular connective tissue walls, again like this. Now this connective tissue, there may be some areas of hemorrhage, hemosiderin present, but usually nothing is there. So how do you treat it? Treatment is usually done by the surgical exploration of the cyst. And sometimes some of the lesion actually resolve spontaneously. So this is about aneurysm bone cyst and solitary bone cyst, or we can say traumatic bone cyst or the hemorrhagic bone cyst. The traumatic bone cyst and hemorrhagic bone cyst is the name because of the pathogenesis, how it develops, right? Aneurysm, as the name suggests, blood. Always remember this, there are going to be profuse bleeding. Pulsatile. So guys, this is about aneurysm bone cyst, ABC and SBC, the solitary bone cyst. I hope that you guys are clear with the concept, you guys are understood it well. So if you have liked the video, enjoyed the video, then give it a thumbs up. Also, you can comment in the comment section below, and now in the description box below there is a chance to support me on Paytm as well as on PayPal to make free videos for you guys and to make free notes available to you. So guys, till then, keep studying, keep learning, stay motivated, and I'll see you soon in the next video.